Hello. This is a podcast about gossip, dirty laundry, chitter-chatter and backfence prittle-prattle. In each episode, Joe Wilkinson, David, Earl and Poppy the postwoman invite you lot, the lovely listeners, to send in any juicy gossip you might have heard over the years. At the end of each episode, they will choose their favorite bit of gossip and help spread it around the world. So, without further ado, welcome to Gloomy Mackerel. No. Golf cart mechanic. No. Goddamn Marmite. No. Gossipmongers. Yes, that's it. Gossipmongers.
Gossipmongers.
Fantastic. Here we go then. Cool stuff.
Gossip number 1.
So this doesn't say it's from.
Yeah, none.
Dear Gossipmongers, firstly I want to thank you for providing a safe platform for sharing vicious rumours. Strap yourself in, this one will shake you up a bit. Confident bugger. It all started about 10 years ago. I landed my first job as a glass collector at the local workingmen's club. The crack behind the bar was fierce, and there was a real camaraderie amongst the staff. We would all make fun of the quirky regulars that chose to spend their time in this shithole listening to terrible cover bands. Unfortunately, one regular in particular got the brunt of the rumours. His name was Teddy Fingers. The following 2 paragraphs will describe Teddy Fingers' fingers. 2 paragraphs it deserves. Okay, I'm 100%. I'm 100% in now. Oh dear. He had 4 fingers on his right hand. 3 were conjoined, and I'm guessing what was his thumb stuck out like a hook, with a large nail coming off it.
Oh, God.
Sharp enough to cut butter.
Not that sharp then.
No, you do that with a finger. It's not been in the fridge.
What a great first hand.
His left hand was even more fucked. 2 slabs of skin flopped over from the knuckle. Scott, sorry, that deserves to be read again.
Oh, sure.
2 slabs of skin flopped over from the knuckle like banana skins. But when excited, would stand erect like 2 throbbing members.
What?
Don't know.
That's all right. Keep going.
Bar staff would drop Teddy's change into his hand after he ordered a beer,
Brave.
and we would all watch as the coins dropped through his deformed hands and onto the bar. This is bad, isn't it? We
No.
He's got bad hands.
It's not true.
It's not true, if you're listening. This is not true.
Teddy doesn't exist.
No, he's got perfectly lovely hands, not flaps.
Come on, this is his moment.
He
in the
would
sun.
he would have to use his floppy hand to slide the coins to the edge of the bar and scoop them into his pocket as they dropped off the end, like one of those 2p machines at the
Quite
arcade.
skilled.
Anyway, one night the club was bouncing with some filthy girls from a hen do. Teddy's banana hand was flopping in and out of erectness throughout the night. As the ladies did some dirty dance moves. Does his hand get erect? Is
Yeah,
that
it
what you're
gets
saying?
turned on.
Fucking hell. Right. As the night progressed, one of the ladies found herself talking to Fingers.
I bet his hands are firmly in his pocket.
Yeah, behind his back. Eddie was cracking on, and before you knew it, he was reaching down her pants, whilst the band blared out Atomic Kitten's Whole Again. I don't even know that song. It's fun. As the chorus kicked in, the lady's eyes slowly rolled back in her head.
Oh no, the hook thumb.
You reckon it's the hook thumb? Could be any
It's one
part.
of 3.
It's kind of many
There's
things.
two. There's
It's the
two.
banana finger, the hook thumb, or the...
The slabs.
Or the erect flaps.
Probably they were in a flap.
I'm going flaps, yeah.
Hindsight.
Her eyes rolled back in her head. People were whispering they had the... People were whispering they had the conjoined fingers in the pink and the hook in the stink.
Oh, God.
That's what it was made for. Oh, now it's all making sense. Either way, the lady was loving it.
Eyes rolling back.
Long story short, and for about 4 songs later, Teddy pulled his hand out and it was healed.
What?
His hand had gone back to normal.
Oh my God.
Her fanny must have dislodged the fingers. Don't know
Oh,
what.
right, so they split apart.
I think so. Unfortunately,
Oh, God.
A lot
she
of blood
got off.
flow, I imagine.
Unfortunately, she got off before he sorted out the banana hand as well. He still struggles to put gloves on.
What the? What?
Fuck knows.
Okay.
Teddy Fingers. The man with the most buggered up hands in the whole of the United Kingdom. Shocking pair of mitts. Does that stop him from fingering pissed up ladies? Absolutely not. If anything, it gives him an advantage. Well done, Teddy. I salute you. With my normal hand. Hook thumb. Banana flaps. Co-joined fingers. So much to enjoy. Hook thumb. Banana flaps. Co-joined fingers. So much to enjoy. Teddy, 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 Teddy. Gossip number 2.
Dear Mongers, you know how some of us have one of them neighbours who's just a little bit eccentric and a bit of an oddity? Well, this is some allegedly fact-based gossip about one of those very neighbours. This goes back to the early to mid-80s when the neighbour who is the subject of this gossip lived opposite my childhood home in Netherton, just outside Liverpool. I'll change his name to Trevor in the hope that you might change it again to...
Well, then
Clever.
he says his actual name.
Yeah. Neighbours often witnessed Trevor doing some unusual things in and around his house at all hours of the day and night, like, painting his garage door with a 1-inch brush,
It's not that weird.
using a pneumatic drill in his back garden for only a few minutes at a time, and usually quite late at night,
So he does a quick burst, then goes to bed.
and on one occasion, after buying a certain new curtain rail, he snapped it in half to get it home on the bus. One New Year's Eve during a party in our house, he knocked and asked my dad, "Harry, I've had a bit of an accident. Can I borrow a hammer?" My dad had probably responded with something along the lines of, "Fuck that, Trevor. Come in and have a drink." It was during the party at which he was now an accidental guest that he told my mum and dad about his new lady friend, who turned out to be another local character, affectionately known as Smelly Dot.
Smelly dog.
Smelly Dot.
Smelly dots.
Fast forward a few weeks later, and Trevor was seen to have developed a funny sort of limping, strained walk. Almost listing to one side with a slow motion hop. I love these people. Trevor was a postman. New chapter.
We jumped forward quite considerably there.
Trevor was a postman, and his new lady friend, Smelly Dot, worked in the canteen of the mail depot. A work colleague of his had told my dad the story behind Chris's newly acquired funny walk. Apparently, one evening, some weeks into their relationship, a confident and fruity-feeling Trevor had persuaded Smelly Dot to give him some hand relief. Dot, not being
Stop saying dot.
Dot.
I really like that word. Dot.
Smelly
Dot, not being all that familiar with the mechanics of such a task or confident to bring proceedings to a satisfactory conclusion, was by all accounts reluctant to do so, and her confession to Chris only encouraged him to persuade her with some gentle advice and guidance. Just imagine you're trying to get sauce out of a bottle.
Such a nice look into
Tap
that
the end
private
of it.
one.
Oh, God.
Was the alleged advice horny Trevor gave Smelly Dot as he lay back eagerly awaiting his cheeky wank. One can only imagine the thought process Dot went through as she imagined such an action before gripping Trevor's expectant chap.
Smelly dot.
Bearing in mind that sauce bottles of the 1980s were glass and not the convenient squeezy bottles we have now. Sauce, be it red or brown, required considerable more effort and vigour to release from the bottle. Rumour has it that Smelly Dot gripped the shaft of poor Trevor's, by this time rock-hard cock, and from an unknown height brought the open palm of her other hand crashing down several times onto Trevor's bell end. Into a slamming sauce out of a glass bottle motion. Further rumour has it that Chris's helmet near exploded on impact. And the resulting screams were louder than his pneumatic drill.
Lovely callback.
Trevor and Smelly Dot's relationship must have come to an abrupt end after that unfortunate business,
Why?
as they were never seen together again. However, Chris maintained to his colleagues that she ruined his knob on purpose after he refused to take Smelly Dot and her sister to see Blood Brothers at the Liverpool Empire. Ah, dear.
Careful asking for a hand job, lads. Especially from a lady who hasn't got the foggiest. Wallop. Smash the blend. Crash, bang, wallop. Bang. What have you done? You've demolished my knob. Oh, for heaven's sake, woman.
Whack whack. Shake, shake. Whack whack.
You've demolished my knob. You've demolished my knob. My knob. My
Gossip number 3.
This is from Mark. Hi guys, about 10 years ago I had a temp job working for a place that made cardboard boxes in Northampton. At lunchtime I would wander over to the shop to grab some lunch. On my third day of going to the shop I decided to buy some cashews. This caught the eye of the shopkeeper, who then asked me, "You like them?" I don't know why I did like that, sorry.
Add a little bit of racism into it.
Just keep it
You
like
like it?
"You like them?" And I said, "Yes, I like them." He then said, "You know what they're good for, right?" Before I could think of an answer, he said, "They will make you come a lot."
cashews.
Do they? So weird.
Bit strange. So I sort of laughed and then carried on looking for lunch and the quickest way out. I went to pay for my cashews, and the guy then pointed behind me and said, "You like them?" Gesturing towards the porn magazines and videos on the top shelf. I didn't know what to say. He then said, "Well, if you want to have a get-together with some friends upstairs, we take some magazine and help each other have good time. You should come. I
It
said,
is bordering on racist now.
well, whatever.
Whatever.
I said no, thank you, and left. He did try to entice me slightly by saying I could keep the magazine after for free. So I got invited to some sort of secret wank club above a shop. Cheers, Mark.
Summed up. Basically, this is what happened.
Don't
great.
forget about the cashews. Remember the cashews? They played quite a big part.
I like that.
Such a load of bollocks.
It's an incredibly simple story, really. About a bloke who was offered to join a little wanky club above a greengrocer's. Not a lot more to it than that. Oh, and the fact that eating cashew nuts can make you spunk your pudding like a motherfucker. Gossip number 4.
So this is from Non. Hello, Joe, David and Poppy. This gossip takes place one summer in the late 1980s. A group of very bored and appallingly dressed scallies set up the Kent Road Crew. They met regularly in the garden shed and fucked about and spat and that.
Spat? As in...
Yeah, spat in the shed.
Oh, yeah, I remember loads of kids at school used to just
Yeah,
spit on the
I
floor.
don't like, yeah,
It's horrible.
spitting.
No,
It was a motley crew. Myself, my older brother, Dirty Sasha, who'd do anything for a can of happy shopper cola and a packet of chipsticks. A couple of scabby younger kids who I can't remember their names. And then there was Alan.
Oh, he
Alan-
sounds bad.
Yeah, Alan had a lazy eye and smelt of celery.
Those two things are not related.
He smelt of celery, despite pleading that he didn't like celery. Strange. Pleading. The general tedium was punctuated by light bullying of the younger members and low-grade vandalism. Always in the background, though, was Alan and his strange antics. Alan wouldn't leave himself alone, constantly fiddling and playing with himself. To be specific, he would be exercising his foreskin.
What?
Just mucking around with it, isn't it? I'm not sure if it was a nervous tick or if he had an agenda. He never said. What it meant, though, was that it got to an extraordinary size and consistency. And looked
Because he
like,
was pulling it all the time.
yeah, and looked like a clanger's nose.
I know what that looks like.
Yeah,
What does it look
clanger's
It's like
nose
a
is
clanger's
like
nose, like long,
that.
like
yeah,
sort
thick
of
at
long,
the top
thick.
and
Yeah,
then
tapers. Yeah,
yeah,
tapers. Yeah. Clanger's nose. Well, perfect description.
Unfortunately, that's not where the gossip ends. One afternoon of very little activity and excitement. Oh, God. So much spit in my mouth. It's horrible.
Fucking hell.
Sorry.
Selling it to
Let
the
me just
listeners.
get. I know.
Yeah.
Is that on camera? It's so gross.
Do you
Like,
produce a lot of spit?
More than most, I think.
I've just got a dry mouth like all the time. So it's
Why do you
just
think
like
that?
I don't know, just
Bad
eating
luck.
loads of shit. Shall I get back to this thing? What was it? Clanger's nose was last. Okay. Unfortunately, that's not where the gossip ends. One afternoon of very little activity and excitement, the Kent Road Crew were fucking about at Brims, a bit of waste ground near the sewage
Life
works.
is so depressing, isn't it?
really
Everyone's
If
life
you've
is
named
depressing.
waste ground, then your life's not going perfectly.
Yeah. I haven't mentioned that the location of this gossip is in a city on the south coast near the sea. In the 80s, it was common sight to see Welkman. I can't say that without...
Well, come on, now we get to the
Yeah.
meat.
Yeah.
Man.
Welkman.
What a superhero.
In a van selling cockles, winkles, etc. in the street and in the pubs. I think he's dead now, but that's by the by. On this fateful afternoon, the Welkman drove by Brims, and my older brother had a bit of change and flagged said Welkman down. He purchased a polystyrene cup of winkles and a toothpick.
God, this is bleak.
I love it.
Yeah, and proceeded to gorge himself on the salty, fishy snacks. Whilst this was going
Really
on...
meandering, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot the
I'm
point.
with it again.
What's our podcast again? What the fuck is going on? The meandering podcast.
Yeah.
Gives us stories with no point.
I know. Whilst this was going on, Alan was carrying out his usual foreskin manipulation.
Oh, I'd forgotten about him. Fucking hell, yeah. What's Clanger's nose? Yeah. Fucking hell.
Suddenly, Alan stopped his self-abuse and a look came over him. He declared in a sing-song, showy-off voice that he could stuff 50 winkles in his foreskin.
The two stories have come together. Lovely.
And who'd have thought?
It all felt disparate, didn't it? He was teasing us. It's like Columbo. I've forgotten about the Welkman and the clanger note. Yeah.
I want this to go on for a long time.
Fuck
When
off.
did this start?
Fuck off.
No, sorry, that's what it says. I was like, fuck off.
We're enjoying it. Fuck off. And if you're listening and enjoying this, fuck off. Jesus, Poppy.
It's my CBD oil.
Never do Jack and
It's
Ori.
making me weird. Just suddenly losing it.
Fuck off.
Oh dear.
Jesus.
Come on. How long we got left?
So,
Long.
How long we got left of the story?
we're
Where
there.
are we? Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
We got a load. Make yourself a cup of tea, guys.
Oh, God.
So,
Yeah, time for our sponsors.
Oh God.
fuck off. We all chorused back.
Oh, it was in the script.
There you go.
Oh, sorry.
Wasn't being rude.
Oh, right, sorry.
Don't get me wrong, his foreskin was like a pelican's beak in both fleshy elasticity and a cavernous size.
And the weight would have taken it down like a pelican's beak. wouldn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and the cavernous size, but 50 winkles, bollocks.
Doesn't believe it.
Anyway, my brother's bullying radar went off and he detected blood in the water. He proceeded to goad Alan that it couldn't be done and that Alan's foreskin wasn't all that. Well, that was that. Alan proceeded to load his foreskin with winkle after winkle.
Near the sewers.
For some reason, it's making my knee hurt.
Oh God.
I don't know why. My right knee started hurting. Okay,
dear.
I need this to end.
Okay. Yeah, Alan proceeded to load his foreskin with winkle after winkle.
Stop saying that.
Why?
No, say it again. I'm going to put a beat behind it.
Alan proceeded to load his foreskin with winkle after winkle.
Seriously, move on.
Winkle after winkle.
Alan proceeded to load his foreskin with winkle after winkle, winkle after winkle, winkle after winkle, winkle after winkle. Arranging the said mollusks like it was some sort of Tetris puzzle.
Oh, I nearly threw up. Oh
I got
God.
really hot. I'm really sweating. My knees hurt.
It was quite exciting and we were all completely mesmerised by the scene unfolding
As
before
are we.
us.
As is the nation.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And therein lay the problem. As all our attentions were taken up by Alan's endeavours, no one had noticed the heron gull that had perched on the fence of the sewage works.
Still it continues.
Oh my God.
Fucking hell.
One of those fuck off big ones with beady eyes and a murderous beak. 40, we chorus. He was going to do it for sure.
Oh, God, it got to 40.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The seagull beat its wings and I caught sight of it then. It was like a vulture, massive. 45. Still the insertions went on. I think
Oh, God.
I think it was on the count of 48 when the gull made its move.
Where's the irresponsible whelp man?
He's gone home.
Just gone.
He's made his money.
This is not his fault. Say put it in the end of your knob.
How big a whelp? No, genuine question.
Winkle.
Winkles. How big's
They're
a
small,
winkle?
they're small.
That.
No,
Right.
they're smaller than that.
Do you think? I
Yeah.
thought, is it the thing that sticks to the side of a whale? Do you know what I mean?
That's a fin.
Isn't that a barnacle?
Oh yeah, barnacle, yeah. What's a winkle?
So they're like small whales.
Right.
No, they're like cockles, same size as cockles, aren't they?
Right, 15. Right,
50
okay.
under
It's
the
still
foreskin.
impressive.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
sure, absolutely.
You try it. I think 5 at best.
I think it was on the count of 48
Oh,
when
yeah.
the gull made its move. Quick as a flash, it swooped down with clinical efficiency.
Fucking hell, this is true, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems it.
No two ways about
Don't
it.
care either way.
Probably honed from years of nicking chips from pasty fat holidaymakers. It went for Alan's engorged foreskin and performed a perfect circumcision.
Setting the winkles free.
It must have thought it was Christmas, a fishy kebab, if you like. I'm not sure if it was the shock of it all or the actual pain, which was worse for Alan, but his wails started quite quietly, and then it rose to a crescendo like an air raid siren.
This is the boy who's had his foreskin lopped off. Right?
Yeah. The scene was pretty chaotic, I can tell you. Blood, winkles scattered about. Alan grasping at his now mutilated cock. Oh, the only thing for it was to fuck off sharpish.
Leave brim.
Yeah. And we jumped on our assorted grifters and chopper bikes and legged it. I looked over my shoulder as I cycled away, and it was like a scene from hell.
Probably not, but I know what you mean.
Alan on his knees. Alan on his knees,
Is that
cradling.
what hell's like? Those are seagulls,
Those are winkles and blood.
chopped up knobs.
I think that might be hell, actually. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
that is hell.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Alan on his knees, cradling his bloody nether regions, and the heron gull perched on a wall, picking at what looked like a burst balloon. I look back on this day as a seminal moment of my youth. Yeah. A bit like the movie Stand By Me. Instead of a dead body on the railway tracks, it was a mangled bit of foreskin. It taught me stuff like don't play with yourself in public and other life lessons. Anyhow, the gull didn't know whether to shit or piss. It really hit the jackpot. Towel. Anonymous.
Brilliant.
How many winkles can you fit inside your foreskin? Yes. Winkles. That's the name of the game. How many fucking winkles can you fit inside your big fucking fat elastic foreskin? Pardon. The heron. Oh, don't worry about him. He's of no interest to you. The heron. heron. Oh, don't worry about him. He's of no interest to you. The heron. The heron.
Beady eyes, speedy wings, beak like a fucking knife.
Is he interested in slicing off your fucking foreskin? Oh no. He's a heron. Why would he do that? Gossip number 5.
This is from Anon. Hi, Poppy, Joe and Brian. Here's my bit of gossip. I'm 24 and I went to school in a little village near Staines. When we were 11, we had a horrible, big, lazy, fat history teacher called Mr. Jones, who had a lazy eye. To give you an idea of the man, for one lesson, he made us mark each other's homework while he rolled up and smoked fags out of the window. To this day, I have only ever seen him stand up twice.
Whatever. He went to the window once.
When we filed in at the start of the lesson, he'd be sat in his chair like he'd been poured into it and wouldn't move an inch of his body for the next hour. If he wanted to get our attention, instead of shouting or getting up, he'd lift up one of those pneumatic horn things and squeeze it 3 times. If a pupil was being particularly naughty, he would look at them and tell them to get up and leave. But of course, because of his lazy eye, you couldn't be 100% sure he was looking at you. So normally at least 3 people would end up leaving the classroom. But as he didn't want to get out of his seat or do anything, he just let it happen. It became a bit of a running joke to see how many pupils could get up and leave without him doing anything. Our record was 11.
So they just walk out and he couldn't be asked to stop them.
Anyway, after one summer holiday, we went into our history lesson expecting to see Mr. Jones, but he was nowhere to be seen. A story broke out that he'd been sat down for so long in his chair that one of his legs had fused round the chair and needed to be amputated. Fused around it.
Who starts this?
This rumour spread like wildfire around our school and was fully accepted as true. It got to the point where not a lesson could go by without kids asking the teachers about Mr. Jones. One assembly, our headmaster, Mr. Gold, had to make an announcement to quash the rumour. The headmaster's speech to this day divides opinion. He said that Mr. Jones did not need his leg amputated. Mr. Gold also repeatedly and angrily told us that on the last day of school assembly before the summer holidays, Mr. Jones announced he was retiring, and that's why he wasn't here.
Of course that's why he wasn't here. Fucking leg fused together.
I personally don't remember Mr. Jones making such an announcement, but I was off ill in the last week of term. A few kids say they do remember, but they were all the grasses anyway. A few weeks into the new term, Mr. Jones never returned. Kids would occasionally claim that they'd seen him in the shops at the weekend. In these various sightings, he always had a different way of dealing with his leg, be it a peg leg, a walking stick, or a full bionic limb. My mate Tom said he saw him coming out of a bookies still in the same chair.
What, like stuck to his arse?
With one of his fat legs fully entwined with one of the chair legs. Like those creeper plants.
Those legs
Dragging
grow-
himself
Grow around the side of houses like ivy.
How's he getting around just dragging himself with one? One leg.
Scraping around the parade of shops.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear. That was great, Anon. Thank you.
An old fat teacher slumped on a chair up the parade of shops. Look at his leg. It's managed to curl itself around the chair like a Virginia creeper. This is mental. He's now attempting to drag himself into the bookies. Just remove your calf muscle from the fucking chair leg and walk in like everyone else, you fuck lazy asshole.
Gossip number 6. Celebrity.
Lloyd Griffith.
Hello, Gossipmongers. It is Lloyd Griffith here. Big fan of the show, so thanks very much for inviting me on. So I went to school with a lad called Mark, who he worked down at the Cleethorpes beach, where I'm from. I'm from Cleethorpes. He worked down at the beach with a load of lads that basically worked on the fair rides. And they weren't like travellers per se, but they all had at least one earring and always worked with their top off. And they all had really big cars from like a young age. And I was scared shitless of them. But there was one lad that my mate worked with, and there was a rumour going around that he was born with a full-size penis. He was born with like an 8-inch knob. As just came out of his mother, but he had like a full-size knob. And then there was also another rumour from another set of people that he was born also with a tash. And he's always had a tash from 11 years old. He was one of those early developers, built like an absolute unit. And then he was actually born with a tash. Oh, there he was born with a full-size knob as well. And it wouldn't surprise me. And so that was the rumour, that he was born with a full-size knob and also a tash. I actually still see him, this guy, around knocking about Cleethorpes, and 2 earrings now, just in case you're wondering. But yeah, so that's my little bit of rumour, my gossip from Cleethorpes. Honestly, thanks so much, guys. You take care. Bye.
If you have any juicy gossip and you would like to send it in to us, then please email it over to gossipmongers@yahoo.com. All names will be changed to protect the innocent. We look forward to hearing from you. Gossip number 7.
So this is from Anonymous. Hi guys, I have a bit of gossip about a local scallywag and evil genius. Let's call him Gary. Just an introduction, Gary is one of those blokes who is an absolute animal, has 1 kidney and can down a pint of popular stout in 10 seconds with no hands. The rumour revolves around his evil genius and how he saved himself from the embarrassment of shitting himself after a one-night stand after a house party. According to Gareth, he woke up after a night of passion in the host's mum's bed and realised he shat himself and it was a solid log. He took the specimen out from the back of his boxers and placed it gently in the knickers of the woman's asleep beside him.
Such logic.
It's very clever. It's very clever.
The woman asleep next to him,
Yeah.
he put it in her
It
knickers.
gently
wearing
placed it into... Yeah.
Oh.
He's still married.
Yeah, he scurried downstairs and he left her to sleep. What makes me believe this gossip is true is that when the woman woke up about an hour later,
Oh my God.
She
Someone else's shit.
she left the house very sheepishly, without saying goodbye, and the bed sheet was missing from the bed. That's
Wow.
true, innit? He
Yeah.
did that. He
Fuck,
did that.
mate.
Yeah, respect to Gary.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
Because
Fair
she'd
play,
be
Gary.
Yeah,
like,
we all
I
respect you.
must have done the shit.
You're
Yeah.
not going to go, someone slid that in.
You'd know
Someone
if it.
slid another shit into my pants.
You'd know if it. I don't know. I think I'd know if it was my own shit or not. Just
Okay,
by.
Poppy. Okay.
So, no, continue. Don't shut her down, David. It's her forum as much as yours.
I need to express this.
Continue.
Yeah, go
How
on.
would you know it was your
Just
shit
because
rather
I'm-
than someone else's?
Because I'm used to what my shit is like. Is that?
Are they all the same?
Yeah. Regular.
Every day they're exactly the same. You never had diarrhea, you never had
Normal and
diarrhea or
healthy.
anything.
Yeah, but then I'll be like, I'm ill. But
So when you have diarrhea, you think it's someone else's.
I'd be like, I know what's
Do
happening.
know you're turning all the boys on here, Poppy.
Even more people are going to fancy you
I
now.
need to
And I
turn
didn't
some
think that
people
was
away.
possible. You know what I like? You know what I really like? The one with the regular poos.
Really regular.
She knows her poos. She can pick them out of a lineup. Third, 5 and 7 are mine.
Correct.
You're through to the next round. Poos are us on
Name that shit.
ITV4.
Well played. Well played for shitting yourself and then secretly placing it inside the pants of the lady you just spent the night in bed with. Again, well played. We all respect you such a great deal. You are my kind of man. God bless. Shoving your turd into someone else's knickers. Shoving your turd into someone else's knickers. Just pop it inside there. Easy does it. Shoving your turd into someone else's knickers. Shoving your turd into someone else's knickers. Just pop it inside there. Easy does it.
Joe, Poppy and David will now choose their favourite rumour.
You look muscly.
What?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, you
No, I
do.
don't.
No,
yeah,
he
you
doesn't.
do. I saw.
What?
Flex.
Fucking hell, this is great. Can we keep this in? Don't stomp on that, David.
Sorry, no, you do. Okay, so I'm going to read out the top 5 of this episode, and slight change in plan. We're all going to write our favourite down and not tell each other.
Secretly.
Yeah, we're going to write it down secretly and then reveal to one another.
At the same time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So the top 5 are Cashew Nut Wank Above a Shop,
Good title.
Alan and the Seagull,
Yep.
Teacher Who Never Stood Up,
Shit, I thought, yeah. I'm stuck.
Whack My Knob Like a Tomato Sauce Bottle,
These are probably the best titles we've ever had.
and Teddy Fingers.
Oh.
Over to you.
Shit. Can you read them again?
Teddy Fingers,
Yep.
Whack My Knob Like a Tomato Sauce Bottle, Cashew Nut Wank behind a pub or behind a shop or whatever, Alan and the Seagull, and the Teacher Who Never Stood Up. Okay. So Poppy and Joe are just writing down their answers.
I'm going to pass you the pen now for your...
Okay.
There we go, David. Good luck, everyone. Oh, you can read one. One's come through.
I can't see it though.
Right, ready?
Yep.
Up 3. 1, 2, 3.
Alan and the Seagull.
Alan and the Seagull.
Oh!
Poppy's put Alan Winkle.
Alan
That's
Winkle.
fine.
Yeah,
we did say
yeah.
Seagull, but
Yeah.
so that's the same, right?
Yeah, he was my old football manager.
What,
Alan Winkle.
No.
So many lies, David.
Yeah. Brilliant. So Poppy's now going to open up the window and tell
Oh my
the world
God.
that
That
piece
was
of
a long
gossip.
one, though.
And,
Yeah.
A big crowd has
Jesus.
gathered again.
Okay,
Here we go.
We've got real momentum on this podcast now.
Yeah.
Just give them what they want, Poppy.
Hold on.
Classic start with an
That was a quiet one.
Really?
There was a guy, Alan.
That bloke's
kept-
looking at you.
Is someone saying?
Yeah, someone's looking at you.
There's a guy playing with his foreskin constantly to the point where it completely made it huge. And then there's also
It completely made it huge.
there's
Good
also
sentence.
a Winkle man selling winkles.
Wasn't he the
Welkman.
Oh,
Welkman?
sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
That's right.
Let her do
It's her
Chinese
gig,
whispers.
Well-
isn't it?
Sorry.
Welkman selling whelks. Alan was like, I can fit 50 whelks in my foreskin. And they said, fuck off. So he starts
Louder.
shoving them in. He starts shoving them in his foreskin. And
I love this bit.
he gets to 48 and a gull appears. And then
A gull.
a gull sweeps down and
You're
rips,
losing them, Poppy.
rips. Please stay.
What?
I need to finish. Please stay. This is
Very needy this week.
it rips his foreskin off. The gull does, and
Not the Welkman.
he's all the whelks go everywhere, and there's blood everywhere, and it's pecking at his foreskin.
It's hell. It's basically hell.
It's hell.
It was like a scene from hell.
All right, that's it. Bye.
Didn't bother with the end of it.
Well done, Poppy.
Great work, Poppy.
That was
Thank you.
pretty much all of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
so.
you absolutely
Yeah.
nailed it.
Oh, I feel disgusted.
Do you?
Can people see?
Yeah.
Shut the window. Pull the curtains, actually. Pull the curtains. Right.
Oh well.
Right.
Thank
for
you,
listening.
everybody, for
Yeah.
listening.
Oh.
Thanks for sending in your.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
We couldn't do it without you.
No.
Yeah.
Because we
Just
do no
genuinely
work.
couldn't.
All right.
So,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Just a reminder. If you would like to send in some gossip, then please email it over to gossipmongers@yahoo.com. All names will be changed to protect the innocent. Until the next time, have a lovely life. A lovely, lovely life. Goodbye for now. Oh, and by the way, to all those who leave comments regarding binning the robot voice, go fuck yourselves. I ain't going anywhere. No way. No way, Jose. Not on your Nelly. I'm staying. Just to irritate you. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to talk more. More and more and more and more. More and 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 more.